Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island that we're making. Last time we focused on, this area of land here, the peninsula. Another peninsula, if you will, and it is detailed, it is interesting, and it's full of stuff, full of goodies and bits and pieces that a player is kind of interested in, or might be interested in. We have a little river delta that comes out from the center of the island. We have another little peninsula with some more trees on it, so we're going to have to marry and make up some bits and pieces on this coast here. This coast, this side of the island, is a lot of beaches and things. We've still got a lot of stuff to do here as well. We have the woods in the middle with the opening to the river itself, and we have the sunken coaster, the sunken cargo ship, which still has a beach with this lad here, just kind of chilling like a villain. So we are going to be progressing, we're going to be moving on and making this a home away from home, which is kind of an interesting place to be. If you're joining us for the first time, we are using W to move forward, S to move back, A to move left, D to move right, Q to go down, E to go up. We are panning around with a right mouse button, and if we select an object of desire, we're going to select objects here. We are using R to rotate, T to transform, C to clone, delete to delete, and if we select something and look away, we press F to focus. Boom, done. Those are all the controls, I believe. If for some reason something is not quite working the way you think it should be working, there are buttons that you can press which override the shortcuts. So we've got transform, we've got rotate, we've got focus, and clone and delete are on the bottom as well. So if you're trying to move something around and you're not getting the bounding box around it, then press the buttons instead. Good, we're going to hit terrain and objects so we don't have anything selected, because why would we want something selected? There are other things to note while we are here, like you'll see things moving around in the background, weird jagged artifacts. That's to do with Lod models. So for example, the boat, the cargo ship, from here it has these red containers on it. As we move forward, the Lod model is actually broken and the cargo containers are missing, so you have to keep remember that this ship actually has extra bits and pieces on it. The rocks will also change, so if you want to see something as it should be, get a little bit closer. Always get a little bit closer. Never stand far away, just get a little bit closer. Zoom on a camera, don't need to zoom on a camera, just walk up closer. That's the way it works. Get closer for better results. So last time we were working on this little area here, the delta, which can be more than it currently is. So we have a little jumping puzzle. You can go up from the sea, you have to swim out, and then you go up the angled rock to the first part of the jumping puzzle, where you jump from one higher area to a lower area, then you walk around the other side on these little stepping stones, and then jump again from a higher area to a lower area, and once you're here you get a little reward, and in order to get back you have to swim. Excellent. But there's much detail as we put into that. There's other areas that we need to put more detail into, so we are going to progress. For example, this area here is kind of bugging me, has been bugging me for a while. We have some little steppy boys, we have a little upright column just to show you that you can actually walk across the tree. I believe the trees branches are sprites, so they have no collision on them, so you can actually just run along the trunk, because the trunk does have collision. We've buried the rest of the tree in the ground carefully so the bits don't poke out, well, except for maybe here, but no one's going to notice, so that's fine. But here we have a little bowl, and it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of it's just something feels wrong here. So we're going to hit up terrain, we're going to hit up raise and lower, we're going to change the size of the brush all the way down, we're going to change the amount just so it's just off the stop, because the raise and lower tool, the amount slider for that, and the set height tool, it's inherited between raise, lower, set height and smooth, but the amount slider is insane, just insane, it's crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to push, that's raise, I want lower. We're going to push down, so we're going to get some water in here. Push it down, 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 push it down. Well, what are you doing? You're making it very steep and sort of not at all pleasant. I don't, stop it, no, please. I know what I'm doing. I don't know, I don't think you do know what you're doing. It's illegal. I'd like you to stop that now. Yeah, sure, no, but okay. So what we're doing is just carving in here very carefully, just very carefully, and then we go to, I mean, you know exactly what we're going to do to. So we're going to smooth this up a little bit around the top. See, smooth height, the amount slider is almost not moving at all. I mean, we haven't really done anything with it, and yet it's here. It's quite powerful. So we're going to go to objects. We're going to go to rocks. We're going to grab a big rock. Maybe? It might be too big. So we'll bring that round, use the blue on the rotate. That's, yeah, wrong shape. Wrong shape, so we're going to delete that. Yes, goodbye. Goodbye. You were the best of us and the worst of us. Coincidentally, green toggle, because that's the one that's facing us. We'll use red toggle, press T to transform, pull it up, and basically just make a little rock shelf out here. But why would you do that? C to clone. Why would we not? R to rotate, and then rotate the whole thing on its back. See? So the water comes from in there. What? Yeah! See, I told you it bugs me. It bugged me enough for it to be something that we should really fix. So that's what we're doing. I just didn't like the fact that the river came from nowhere. And this was always kind of part of the plan, so... What we want is something that the player can see that the water comes from, but can't really get into. Because that's something that we don't want. So we're going to go to terrain, we're going to smoothing, change the size, smooth height down. We're going to check it over here, that's okay. And then we're just going to bring that back just once, a little pull back. Okay, so the water comes out of there. And then what we're going to do is just go back to objects, go back to rocks, grab big rock 1, grab big rock 1, drag it from the toolbox, and then rotate it around so that it now fits into this area that we've carved out. Ooh. Of course, when you're close to the center of the axis of the rotation point, things can get a little bit squirrely, and there's no controls there, there's no undo on this, so just let go, I think is the answer. There we go. So you've got a careful slopey slope down into the water. You've also got this now coming from here that goes into this little rock cave that you can't get into, but if you crouch you can just about see that it goes in there. Excellent. Well, that was a little bit of thing that we needed to get done, and it is now done. So little touches like that, little details, help an awful lot, an awful lot. Excellent. So we've done that. There's still this little sandy islandy bit in the middle. We're going to need to do something with that. We're also going to need to do something over here, because I believe that we have these two. We've got these two peninsulas with trees and stuff on. I think we need something here just to really lock that in. I think a little offshore sandy bar with some trees and stuff on it will be excellent there. So we have a lot of deciduous trees, and then we have our pines with our pine needles and the acidic soil. So two different soil types. Why are you so worried about soil types? Well, because you don't generally see pines and deciduous trees growing together. I mean, I know we've done that here just for a little variation on the forest floor, but yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit up terrain. We're going to grab the set height. We're going to read terrain paint height. Click on that button on the bottom, and we are going to select an area of dry sand. That area of dry sand, in fact. We're going to make sure the amount slider is down. Make sure the size is up. We can change the size by putting the brush anywhere above the waterline. If we wanted to see it below the waterline, we hit the cog, we hit display ocean, boom, the ocean is now gone, and we can now see. Because the ocean mesh is separate to the world mesh. Hey, what's going on? I don't know. So set height, amount is down, and we can just bring this up. If it's too slow, we can crank the amount up. Eventually, it'll be too much. It'll just be like, oh, here's all the sand in the world. So what we're going to do is just brush around in a circular motion until we've got a little offshore island. You like your offshore islands, don't you? I do actually, yeah, because it adds texture to the ground. It's definitely a thing. So what you do is you have a limited palette, a limited play set to work with. And what you do then is just kind of find new and interesting ways to break stuff up, essentially. So what we're doing is we're brushing around in a circle. And does two things. It's going to raise the seabed up because we have the amount slider fairly low. It's not going to break the surface for most of this, except the area of the little sandy islandy bar. Not too much, just something. So we get a little bit closer to it and we can see that it's kind of curved around the outside. If we move away, move the camera away, we can see that it's more like a square. And that is to do with the LOD again. So we're going to hit smooth height. We're going to crank that up quite far, and then we're just going to make sure we are not still on the card, but actually on the smooth height brush, and then brush around here, and that's going to take some of the jagged. Just crank it all the way up. There we are. It's going to take some of that height and jagged edges off. That's going to normalize the edges of the area that we've just painted in. That's essentially what it does. So it's just like, what does it actually do? It normalizes. It takes all the points that is under the brush, and it kind of comes up with an average value. I'm just clicking and holding and brushing around in a circle while I'm describing that. What we're going to do now is click on the cog, hit display ocean, and turn the ocean back on. Excellent. That is a brilliant start. So we have a large sandy bar. Exactly. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, like a jelly bean, I guess. So what we're also going to do is click on read terrain set height. I'm going to find a little bit of sand with the footy prints on it. And click, so it comes from the mouse pointer, not the brush or the center of the brush. But we're going to change the amount slider down because that's inherited between all three. And if you ever have raise or lower selected with the raise and lower brush, and you have it cranked all the way up, you click, you will wish there was an undo button. There is no undo button. Also, clicking on these buttons at the top is a little dangerous because sometimes you click and it just instantly shoots something up in the background. I've seen that before. So the best way to do it is hit terrain objects, or just look at what you're painting, just so that you don't accidentally do something crazy. So what I'm going to do is brush this in using the set height. You can only go as high as we've specified. Then we're going to need to smooth it off again. Once we've got it smooth, then what we can do, crank it all the way up and then brush it around. So we're not looking to have this high off the ground. What we're looking to do is have a lovely little garden out, separated from the mainland by a bit of water that you just have to splash through. You get your ankles wet. Let's rip it all the way up and then brush all the way back. Excellent. I'm glad this works. Okay, good. So what we did is we brought it up to the height of the current beach from the point that we sampled, but then we had a very flat top to this little island. Now we have a little island with a fairly varied top to it. There is some dry sand because the sand, the texture, the ground texture is done by altitude, so anything low down is dark sand, and that's wet sand. Slightly higher is dry sand with the footprints. Slightly higher than that is grass, and higher than that is forest floor. And breathe. Terrain objects. Okay, so we have nothing selected. By hitting terrain and objects, you deselect any object that you might have selected, and then you feel better about yourself, which is a good way to be. So we're going to grab Big Rock 4. I'm going to say that is an ugly rock. It is, but you know, whip it over. There you go. Find a nice side, a nice view for it, and then we are going to press T, and then drag it into the ground. Back, forward, back, forward, forward. There we go. That's good. I'm going to basically be doing the same thing that we've done before. Why would we break a habit? So, Big Rock 2, terrain and objects, because I don't want to move that. And then I'm going to move this. I'm going to hit R to rotate. and then press T to transform, smash that into the ground, R to rotate, bring the tail up, T to transform, grab the red toggle, slide it forward. The red, green, and blue are going to change depending on the orientation of the object, so they may be different for you. I wouldn't be surprised if they were, but it doesn't matter. Just grab the toggles, move it around, and then it'll be happy where you've placed it. So terrain objects, there we go. We're going to do the same thing over here. Why do you like throwing rocks in? Because I like there to be a reason for a sandbar to appear. Not that the sandbar is just there, but there is a reason for it. So there's some underground geography that causes these things to exist, that shelters them from the force of the sea. Didn't think about it like that. Well, not a lot of people do. So we're going to hit R to rotate. And we're going to rotate in a different direction to the one that we've got behind us because it's the same rock, but I don't want the same geometry showing. And then basically doing the same thing. Kind of. So that's not quite what we need. We'll do this. Press T and then bring it out. Push that down into the ground. A bit more into the ground. Back a little bit more into the ground. There we go. It's better. Oh, hit F to focus. Didn't mean to do that, but you know, it helps anyway. Then we hit terrain objects. Excellent. Cool. So those rocks, in order to not be too similar to this side of that little island, we've put into the ground and they're split. I didn't want them to be the same. I didn't want it to be like, oh, that's the same over here than it is over there. Or, oh, those are the same too. No. Let's not do that. We're going to hit terrain. We're going to hit raise. Or I'm going to hit raise. There we go. We're going to change the amount, slide it all the way down, because if we were to leave it on all the way up, we would have a spike of dirt that reached the sky, and I don't think we want that. So we're just going to brush in here, and what we're going to do is raise this up in the crook of the rock. Excellent. Just pushing and holding and bringing it back. There we go. And then we get it smooth, and then we're going to change the amount up. Just do a little click, just a little test click. You want to test click in an area where it's not going to show. I mean, that's just life, isn't it? Check it on a panel where it's not going to show. You have a little hair where it's not going to show. There we go. So we've raised that up. So it's now a little bit higher than it was before. It would be a bump if it were not for the rocks to be there. So it looks like the sand is gathered in the crook of the rocks. Excellent. Terrain and objects, I think so. Just as out of habit, not because we needed to click on terrain and objects because we were on the terrain tool, but you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. We're going to use a ficus. Of course we are. Deciduous. We've got deciduous there. We've got deciduous there. And we're going to have some deciduous there. So this is essentially just to frame the beach. Again, we've got a little bit of water there. So this is just to increase the sort of forestiness of the island without actually getting in the way of the player. I think is a good way to be. So the player can come build whatever they want. But we are creating an interesting environment for them to run around in. Ficus tree. Hello, it's Ficus tree 2. Hi, you are the tree that I am looking for. So yeah, the camera speeds up and down if you're watching this for the first time. It is not something we have any control over. It's done by the proximity to objects, and I wish there was a linear speed control, but hey, it's the thing. So we are going to hit rotate. And the other thing that happens quite frequently is that we lose the object that we have selected, and then the object selection jumps onto something else, and then we have a bad time. So we're going to hit C to clone, rotate. Hopefully it doesn't snap onto anything else. It hasn't, which means we can count that over a bit, T to transform, bring it up into the main body of the tree, just to move around, make sure none of the branches are clipping through each other, because that looks weird. They're not. They're looking pretty sweet. I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. Is that the abyss? No, it's not. It's just deep water. I was like, alright, the abyss is a lot closer than I thought it was. But that's fine. So we're going to do that. What about 3 sets of ficus on here, so we're going to hit terrain objects because I don't want to move that. We're going to grab ficus tree 2 and we're going to pop you here, drop you into the ground. I honestly, I think that's fine where it is. I think that's fine where it is. So we're also going to, we should probably raise the sand up here in the middle just to get a little bit of grass on there. Okay, hit up terrain, hit up raise, change the amount slider all the way down as a matter of precaution, pull it just off the stop. Raise is there, change the size of the brush so it's a little bit bigger. I still wish that we could use square brackets, but yeah, it's a thing that we'll forever wish for. So we'll pull this up, we're just brushing backwards and forwards using the raise tool. It's a bit of an alarming tool to use. We're stuck in the tree. That's okay. That's fine. Yeah. What? Oh, did you ruin the island? Yeah, I know. Let's crank that up and hit the amount up, smooth height. So we'll just even this off, especially on this side. Let's do that. And then here, where we've got a massive step. We don't want the step. We don't want the step. I don't think we're going to be able to do this on this island particularly well. I think we might just have to leave it with some scrubby stuff on top. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to have to do. I don't think we're going to be able to do it like that. Okay, I'm going to brush into the sea, noting that we haven't got any bubbles around the outside, which is kind of cool. In fact, I'm just going to crank the size of that slider up and just see what happens when we brush over the hump of the island. Nothing a lot, to be honest. Let's brush, just clicking and holding. Right. There's a little scrubby texture starting to show through, a little bit of grassy bits, but it's nothing, like the center of the island. There's a little area there that's still a little bit jaggy, but yeah, we'll just live with it. We'll live with it. Fine, cool. So objects, ficus tree 1 is a little sticky boy. What we're going to do is move the camera so we can actually see what we're doing. Let go. Press R, rotate, move them around. Press nope, still on rotate. Press T to transform. Drag it down, drag it back. So it looks. Oh, now there it goes. And it snaps onto something in the background every time we let go. Can we get it back again? Nope. We can get the other tree back. Oh, no. Now we get something in the background. That's why we always hit terrain and objects, just in case. I don't believe we're going to be able to rescue that. Oh, nope. There we go. As soon as we let go, is it going to snap? Ugh, I really wish it wouldn't. I don't know if that's a oh, there it goes. I don't know if that's a Unity thing or what, but we just have to deal with it. Can we get it back? Yes, we can. And then actually put it into the trunk of the tree. Ah, there we go. What? How? What? What did you do? Witchcraft. In a word. In 2 words. Very witchcraft. So objects. Yeah, the more objects you got together, the more likely it is that the object you got selected after you've moved it, the selection will snap onto something else. And if you try and move that, suddenly you're moving something you didn't want to move. And again, there is no undo. There is no undo. There is no undo. Save regularly. I don't because of the video. But you know, it would be a little disconcerting if I kept. I keep bringing out the wrong tree. I want this one. So yeah, it's. I know it's a little. I don't know. What is it? It's a little bit Microsoft Office where you keep saving your Word document after every other line. But I would recommend doing it. I'd wholeheartedly do that. So do it. So if you do mess up and put a huge hole in your island, or if you get in a situation where the raise and lower brush just eats the island, there is a situation where you can, the raise and lower for some reason got stuck, and I don't know if it got fixed in an update, but you'd be clicking around and it would literally just eat the island. The train brush would just destroy it. That was a weird little bug. So we're going to do this. Move this little tree backwards and forwards. Do we want it closer to the waterline? Maybe. That's better. It's better. Okay, cool. We are going to deselect that. Focus tree. Focus tree. No, it's focus tree. Regular focus tree. Boom. Regular focus tree. Rotate. Now, because this is not near anything else, it should technically not get deselected. Yeah, that's fine. And then terrain objects. Boom. And then another one over here. Drag that down slightly higher than before. Hit rotate and just give it a good old spin because we've got two trees that are basically the same. Excellent. What has that done though? Well, that has created a little island with a bunch of stuff on it that is now kind of in the way of people's view of the sea. So we have added way more greenery to an island that would otherwise not have any, but it's not quite done yet. Oh, but you could just leave it like no, we could not leave it like that because that would be illegal, and we're not gonna have something that's legal. So we're gonna hit rocks. We're gonna have cliffs, I think. So we're gonna hit cliff 3 and then press T. Drag that into the ground. Also wait for the Coast Guard helicopter to fly by and do a little crash cut. That happens a lot. It's like, how many people need the Coast Guard? Oh, you would not believe. Quite a lot, actually. So we're going to just jam a rock on here. Oh, what is this? Huge. You've just jabbed a cliff top onto the thing. Why would you do this? Why would we not? You know? It's a way of doing things. So we are going to put this here. I actually want it a little bit more that way. There we go. There we go. Because it's got the greenery on it, a little bit of grassy texture on the top. It's not actually a sprite texture, it's just greenery. But we've done that. That's mostly in the ground. If we smash our face through the world mesh, we would see a nightmare world below where the rocks and things are just floating in space. In fact, a lot of our island, there's just a lot of stuff underground. It's terrifying. Sorry you had to see that. Terrain objects, because that is a perfect place for that to be, and I think we want something over here as well, so we're going to do the same thing here. Same rock piece, same rock time. Oh, I want the blue toggle, and then again a little bit of a rotated boy. It's T, transform him, bring him out a little bit this way, down a bit more into the earth, avoiding something like this here. So if we drag it too far down, we start getting, it just looks a bit weird. So I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Excellent. Terrain objects, and we're going to go to close rocks. We're going to bring up trees. We're going to find bush. What are you doing? I don't think I like what is about to happen next. I don't think anyone likes it, but we're going to do it anyway. So there we go. Grab a bush in and then just put it between these two bits of rock. But I don't think, no, don't, shh. Calm down. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. We don't know what we're doing, but at least we know where we've come from. That makes no sense. No, it doesn't. Sorry. So we're wanting a little bit of foliage to be poking up. Yeah, just a little bit of greenery. A little bit of greenery, that's all I asked for. And now it's selected something completely different. Selected the cliff piece. Well, I guess that's where that lives now. It's a little hard to move the camera around. Can I get that? What is that? It's the rock. That's a tree. Yeah, this is the problem we're going to have with... maybe we can put the camera under the ground. And then select it from under the ground. Let's do this. Nope. This is actually a very big issue that we have currently. You cannot select. Oh, there we are. You can't select objects from an object list. It's just not something that we can do. There we go. I'll pull it up a little bit. There we go. That's all I wanted. All I wanted, a little bit greenery here and there. It's nothing too much to ask for. Because we can't have the grass sprites on the top. So we hit terrain objects. Grab another thing. Grab it into the ground. A little bit down. A little bit up. Just to fill in that area there with a little bit of green. See? It's just little touches. Little touches. Tiny touches. There we go. So excellent, and then we are going to grab some terrain objects, make sure we don't accidentally break anything. We got the nanas, we got the nana gang that can come in. We've got the sermons, we got the driftwood piles. Driftwood piles probably should exist here, so we're going to add a shady driftwood pile just there. Excellent. We're going to add a ceremon. I was looking at the text and I was like, am I even pronouncing that right? I don't know. And then I realized that I didn't actually care. Yeah, this is getting a little bit hard to see because of all the foliage, but essentially we want the stem to be in the ground, the leaves not to be too clipped into any rocks and objects and things. Fine, not noticeable. It's not actually that noticeable, so we'll leave that like that. That's auto-selected something in the ground. We don't know what that is, so we're going to select something else. And this is where all the fun of trying to place a lot of objects in a very confined space start to become a bit of an issue. Koala, I think we're going to put a Kura down. So let's find a Kura tree. Drag it from the toolbox. We're going to do a little rotate so it's kind of facing away, and then bend it slightly over, and then press T, drop into the ground a little bit. Excellent. Then we're going to come over here, we're going to hit terrain objects, make sure the Kura tree is now deselected. We're going to go back up because there should be an aloe vera. I knew exactly what I was looking for, I just couldn't see it with my eyeballs. Put that there. Rotate because there's like little aloe vera tree, little shrubby boys down there. We are also going to probably get ourselves, there's a ceremon too there. I like the one with the little flower on it. Let's put that down as well. Press T, pop that into the ground a little bit more, make sure the stem is fully in the ground, and then that's okay. Excellent. We should probably also hit terrain and objects, obviously. Ooh, that would be spicy if we were to move anything. Probably get a little PP in there. So there's PP. No. A little PP. Why would you put PP in? I'll put it closer to the center part. There we are. Because that gives us some ground coverage. It's also hidden from the player if they're just walking along the beach. So there we go. There's a little bit of a little island hideaway there. So hit terrain objects once more. It's kind of hard to see because of all the shadows and stuff. But what we're going to do is this area, which now connects to the land a little bit. There's some wet water, wet sand there. So we're going to find a palm. Almost the same, but completely different. There we go. Now, we can't, in this game, move palm trees in such a way that they can be bent over at an angle. That is... I don't know if it's ever going to come. No, I don't want that one. I want a big one. Give me a big one. There we are. Do that. Rotate so that the tops aren't kind of the same angle. Excellent. We're going to grab another little rock. So we're going to go all the way back at the top, terrain objects. Boom, rocks. We're going to go for small rock 3. We're going to grab you and we're going to hit rotate. T-transform down into the terrain. Pull you back a little bit and then rotate a little bit more. There we go, horseshoe shape there. So we're going to scroll the way back. Close that, open trees, terrain objects, just for giggles, young palm. We're going to throw some young palms in there, rotate, young palm, and then rotate, and doing young palm 1, just a little, I'll rotate there, some leaves and bits and pieces, excellent, because we kind of want a mix of vegetation here. We can do the same thing on the other side, so we can find palm 2 probably, and just right at the water's edge, a little bit of rotate, T to transform, down into the sand, in fact bring it back a little bit, there we go, kind of hidden in the trees. We could bring it out a bit more. Is it in the water? I don't think it matters too much. There we go. So we've got some palm trees. So for as far as the player is concerned, you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, what? Camera speed. I have no control over it. Like I said, the camera speed, the more objects there are, the worse the camera speed gets, and it's an unfortunate thing, but you know, we have literally no way of changing that. So we're going to hit rotate and just spin that one around. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I believe we have created a little offshore paradise. The fondness for offshore islands is good, because what you have is you've got the beach and you got the water, and then you've got more land, and you can make a very tight vignette with stuff all on there. So there is resources, there are resources, there's reasons to go back to it, and it's a nice place to go to look out over the ocean. It splits up the island, so if you're walking along the beach, you've got things between you and the main forest back here, and different trees and various bits and pieces. Now we're going to have to come back and actually do something with the actual beach itself, because that is still default whatever the game gave us. We're still going to have to do some stuff here. The forest floor is going to need to be done, and this side is definitely going to need some work done to it, as well as coming back to the beginning and adding some, you know, some interest from the survivors from the ship. So I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So if you're liking this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe, and if you do subscribe, click the little bell, because that will give you notifications when videos go live. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.